I think before we talk about our relationship with entity NetMagic, I would like to talk about a little bit about Thomson Reuters, because I think a lot of people in this room probably don't know about Thomson Reuters. So let me. Sorry. Yeah. So what does Thomson Reuters do? We are basically a data provider. We do about 2 million data updates a second, which is probably the largest in terms of financial information. And this is data that is collected from across exchanges across the world. We also have journalists and photographers who take pictures of business events, of policy being framed, of treaties being passed, etc. And we do quite a lot of them. And roughly about 1 billion people experience Thomson Reuters in one way or the other on a daily basis. So this is a huge amount of data. Yes, probably it's not as huge as what's been generated today by a Facebook or a Google or some of these companies, but this is intelligent data. This is data based on which professionals across the world, companies across the world, are actually making financial decisions, are trading, are making, plans which make them money or otherwise. So it's very important data that needs to crisscross the world almost every second. And one of the partners that we have globally is Entity. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our relationship in Asia Pac, because I see a lot of gentlemen from Japan and other parts of Asia. So I just wanted to talk about some of the stuff that we do together in these countries. So one of the things that Entity helps Thomson Reuters is to connect Asia to the globe. And one of those connections is to Chicago, which is the global home of commodities trading, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange being there. And Entity helps us connect these two pieces on the earth. We also have lots of connections within Tokyo and within the Japanese peninsula for our clients there. And we also have multiple data center connectivity within Tokyo itself. And who uses them, right? This is the interesting thing. Before I come to that, let me talk about who uses some of this connectivity. So this connectivity is used by some of the largest banks in the world, namely the Mizuho Group, the BTMU or UFJ Group, the Bank of Japan itself. The Bank of Japan is equivalent to the RBI here. They use some of the services to trade in financial markets. We also have some internet connectivities that is provided in Hong Kong and Singapore by Entity. And co-location, which is one of the most interesting parts of our business, because we allow customers to co-locate and transact within exchanges within a millionth of a second. And Entity helps us with these services in Tokyo, in Hong Kong, and in Mumbai itself. In Tokyo, we are connected in the Tokyo Stock Exchange using Entity services. In Hong Kong, it's the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and in Mumbai, it's the Bombay Stock Exchange. So great, this is some of the stuff that we do with Entity on a regional wide. But what about Thomson Reuters in India? So I'll give you a bit about history about Thomson Reuters in India as well. And bear with me for that, it's a long, long history. 1861, that's right, it's not 1961, it's 1861. That's when we came to India. This country was under British rule. And we've stayed there since. I mean, you can't talk a lot about many companies who've done that, but we've been there. We set up shop on the beaches of Bombay in 1861. %60 of India's Indian rupee dollar trading happens on Thomson Reuters. And this is another place where Entity helps us tremendously locally, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. The platform was launched roughly 25 years back and is still going strong. You talked about Entity having 24,000 people in India. We're not behind, we've got 10,000 people here doing a lot of global technology, content, and other stuff for Thomson Reuters across the world for its customers. And finally, roughly more than 50% of the volumes, the trades that happen on the Indian exchanges go via the Thomson Reuters Omnisys platform. Omnisys is a company that we acquired 4 years back in India. Now, if you see some of this stuff, basically the 60% and the greater than 50% volume, this is all critical data and critical information that needs to go to customers, and you can't miss a step. And that's one of the reasons why we need to have a very, very strong partner who can help us deliver this 100% of the time, and probably sometimes more than 100%. So how does Entity NetMagic help us here? So co-location, we provide low latency services to our customers in India, some of the largest banks like Citi, Morgan Stanley, Mizuho, the Indian banks like Axis, Kotak, etc. All of them use services that we provide with the help of Entity in India. All our customer distribution POPs are located in Entity NetMagic data centers across India. We use DR services from Entity network data centers. Managed solutions for trading. This is another thing that we do with the help of our partner. A large number of online internet-based brokers, etc., are something that we co-locate, provide them managed services, and offer them all the connectivities to all the exchanges within the country so that they can trade on a day-to-day basis. This is an extremely critical function in which not only does Entity help us in terms of providing the infrastructure and managing it, but they also have a team of people that support us 24/7 specifically for the problems that we might face, because this now runs from 7:30 in the morning till 11 p.m. in the night. Very soon, with Mr. Modi's vision, trading in India will become a 22-hour business. So it's going to run till almost 5 a.m. in the morning till Singapore opens. So extremely, extremely critical stuff that we do together in India. And I'll probably spend probably a minute on something that we're doing now, which is one of my pet projects, which is basically offering broking as a cloud-based service, which is, we call it broker in a cloud type of concept, which is what Entity NetMagic and their engineering team is actually help us define, design. We're collaborating together to actually make it very simple for Indians to come into the market and trade. We've just reached a lifetime high on our indices yesterday. Probably it's just the start of the bull run. Just about 4% of India's population today trades in the market. If that's going to increase even by 100%, this is going to be a significant step in terms of reducing cost, providing better services, and support. This includes web-based services, mobile apps, the whole works, right? This is where, I probably end my presentation, but I'd just like to talk just about a minute in terms of what this relationship means to us. This relationship we've been having for the last 8 years, since 2009. And relationships are great when they are in forums like this, when you present, a lot of services are presented, but relationships really make their due when there are challenges, problems, issues that are faced. And that's when the true value of a relationship and a partner comes. And I'll quote a recent example. By the way, for the last 8.5, 9 years, we've never had an outage on our entire network. And that's a lot thanks to the folks in this room. But challenges, obviously we've had challenges deploying new infrastructure, new services, etc., because this is the IT world, right? You need things to be done as of yesterday. And that is where I think the whole team of Entity NetMagic has really geared up to sort of support some of the things that look very, very insane for other people, but are absolutely critical for us to run our services for our customers. And to give you an example, we recently did an upgrade on our exchange network about a couple of months back. I remember actually talking to Sharad sometime in the middle of the night. And the team from Entity NetMagic was with us for 48 continuous hours, ensuring that stuff that was delivered from customs, which came into the data center, got implemented, was supported, all the hitches and glitches removed, and we went operational live on the day we wanted to be. So that is what sort of for me is a testament of a real relationship and a real partnership, because it's in the bad times that you really, if you come together and really sort of provide solutions to the business, that's where the service level really sort of goes up. So with that, I must say we've been extremely happy with what Entity brings to the table for us globally as well as locally here in India, and hopefully this will be a very, very long-term, very fruitful partnership for both the organizations. Thank you.